I've created a monster. This slightly scary looking concoction I made for the online culinary group I'm part of, where each month this festively dressed but still quite angry Minotaur demanded
Macarons!
Yes, macarons for the month of April. The Minnow was not unreasonable. He commissioned this incredible piece of art for the challenge from the Kenny Durkin, who drew this amazing mimic macaron. A mimicaron? I just knew I had to make it into an actual cookie. Part one was the teeth, for which I decided on white modeling chocolate, so I melted some white chocolate and carefully folded in some corn syrup, and it turns into this clay-like consistency so I can form these incredibly creepy-looking teeth. Next up was the macaron shells, so I used this entirely unnecessary but quite fun egg yolk separator. I decided to go with the Pies and Tacos Swiss meringue macaron recipe, so egg whites, sugar, and the egg white powder goes onto the double boiler until it hits 160. Then into the stand mixer it goes to be whipped up, made colorful, and hit stiff peaks. Finally, it was macaronage time, so I added half my almond flour and powdered sugar to the meringue and started folding it in. Then the other half. I think ultimately I under macaronaged this time, since after piping them, knocking out the air bubbles with a few counter taps, and baking, they came out a little warped. But they're kind of perfect for this monster-based mac. Thirdly, I went for French buttercream using Sugarology's recipe, so yolks, a little water to account for the missing egg whites, and sugar go on the double boiler to again hit 160. Then it's frosting butter time. The soft butter is whipped up before a little bit of powdered sugar is added, and then whip some more. It was my first time making this, so I think I messed up the yolk syrup. It was a tad grainy, but it still tasted great. Now it was time to tackle the tongue. I knew I wanted that classic, long, creepy mimic tongue shape, for it to be like the jam often found in the center of a macaron, and for not to be overly chewy. So for the shape, I modeled the tongue in Blender, 3D printed it out, and used 2-part silicone putty to make the mold of the model. Then I pureed raspberries, added a little corn syrup, and used the borderline magical substance called iota carrageenan, a plant-based gelling agent that, unlike gelatin, is stable at room temperature.
Oh my god, we're way above.
My pouring technique was a tad sloppy, but with a little trimming, they turned out delightfully horrible looking. Finally, I can assemble my mimicarons. First, a layer of French buttercream, then one of the raspberry tongues brushed with a little honey for extra creepiness, a layer of teeth, the same on the top half, and it's done. Hopefully the Minotaur will like his creepy cookies. You too can try to feed the Minotaur at www.labyrinth.food, or you can catch me attempt to make more desserts live on Twitch at twitch.tv/LordTalks.